Welcome back to After the Bell on CNBC TV 18. Well, Michael Dell, the Chief Executive Officer of Dell Incorporated, is in India. Now, he said that Dell will begin production in its India unit by July. The plant is being built in Sriperumbudur on the outskirts of Chennai. Our Delhi bureau editor caught up with Michael Dell and began by asking him his take on consumer spending, US recession and technology spending.
I wouldn't consider myself a big expert there. I think there are certainly some ripples around the edges in the mortgage market that have some people concerned. But if you look at it in aggregate, I think the U.S. economy is still pretty healthy.
How concerned are you, though?
Well, we have to worry about those things. I mean, actually, what's interesting for Dell is that in the last quarter, we just passed the threshold where more than half of our volume is outside of the United States. So, you know, we're thinking more about our future, you know, which really means places like India.
Okay, let's talk about places like India, because you just talked about how that $5 billion that could have come India's way has actually gone to Vietnam. Now, there are concerns on the infrastructure front. That's been a perennial problem as far as the Indian market is concerned. But to your mind, what are the other regulatory issues? Maybe we've had problems on the land acquisition policy front. To your mind, what's holding back foreign investments into India? And I'm going to try and elicit a headline from you: incremental investments from Dell into India.
I think the tariff issue is really the principal issue. You know, these 86 suppliers of ours that have signed this declaration, basically, I think all would invest fairly substantial sums. And the thing that's interesting about our factories, if you go to Malaysia or China, is if you look in a 5 or 10 mile radius of our factories, you see a lot of other suppliers who have come to support. So the kind of follow-on impacts of fully developing, and also it's really an export opportunity. You know, so this is the primary issue that I think, you know, is the opportunity India has.
Okay, and how strong is the India story really looking to you at this point in time? We're seeing inflation at over 6%, interest rates are climbing up. Do you think the story continues to be as robust and strong at this point in time? Would you regard it as possibly your best performing emerging market?
It continues to be a great story. We didn't have a lot of countries that grew at 70% last year in units. So India, you know, is definitely emerging, and I think the fact that we are putting a factory here, you know, shows a lot of commitment. But how big that factory becomes is really back to this whole tariff issue. You know, it can be a sort of moderately sized factory, or it could be a ginormous one.
CNBC TV 18 exclusive there, and moving on.